Are you an international medical graduate or IMG looking to work here in the UK but not sure about the process? Or you have a vague idea but there are still a few things you need answers to? Well, in this video I have composed a number of frequently asked questions that IMGs like yourself have asked. Just a few things to point out here. I am not an IMG and I do not speak on behalf of any organisation such as the GMC. However, I have worked with many IMGs, done my research and support IMGs through my role as a clinical lecturer. So if you want clarity on a number of things such as GMC registration, the various ways you can work in the UK and the PLAB exam, then watch this video for all the above and more. Welcome back. If you're new here, then a massive welcome to you. My name is Dr. Baptiste and I currently work as a portfolio GP. I create content to support you on your medical career journey. Whether you are a medical student or a doctor, there will be something on this channel for you. If you aren't new, then thank you for coming back to the channel. I really hope you are enjoying the content. As always, if you found this video really useful, then hit the like button and share it with someone who may find it useful. So let's get into the video. Before we start with specific questions, let's briefly discuss the basic steps you need to follow in order to apply to the GMC or General Medical Council. The GMC, as you may know, is the regulatory body for doctors. So the basic steps to apply to the GMC for registration are: first, check that you are eligible. This is really important. There will be set criteria like for most things, so before you even start, check that you are actually eligible to apply. Again, like most things in life, you'll need to complete an application along with paying a fee. There will be evidence that you have to provide in order to have a successful application and attend an identity check. You can use the registration application finder on the GMC website to determine which application you are eligible for. If you want more information, then watch an earlier video here which goes into much more detail about how you can become a doctor in the UK. So let's go through some questions. What type of registration can I apply for with the GMC? There are two types: provisional, i.e. first year or FY1 level, and full registration or FY2 level. For provisional registration, you would not have completed an internship or have less than 12 months of hospital training. Now, for full registration, you would need to have an internship or more than 12 months of hospital experience. So 3 months in medicine and 3 months in surgery, ideally. With full registration, you can work as an FY2 as above in the approved training program, or you can work in an unsupervised medical practice or in private practice in the UK. Who is eligible for full registration? There are 3 ways you can apply for full registration according to the GMC. You would have completed the first year of the foundation program as an FY1 in the UK, as above. You would need to be a graduate with an acceptable primary medical qualification from a country outside of Switzerland and or the UK. Plus, you need to prove you have enough experience to practice medicine in the UK. There are 5 ways you can do this. Number 1, sit and pass the PLAB test. Once you pass this, along with several other requirements, you can then work as a foundation year 1 or 2 doctor, depending on the type of registration you are eligible for. There are some foundation year 2 standalone posts. After completing medical school here in the UK, graduates will need to complete 2 compulsory years working in the NHS or the National Health Service. If you want to know more about the career path of a doctor here in the UK, then watch an earlier video. Sponsorship by an approved sponsor. So you can apply for GMC registration by using something called a sponsorship. This is a pre-approved scheme by the GMC for doctors to gain registration. You will have to prove to the sponsor that you have the necessary skills, knowledge and experience to practice as a fully registered doctor in the UK. Once you satisfy the requirements of the sponsorship, you will be issued with a certificate of sponsorship, which you can then use to apply for registration with the GMC. There is a list of sponsors on the GMC website, so make sure you check that out. An acceptable postgraduate qualification. have a relevant European qualification, be eligible to apply to enter onto the specialty register as a GP or consultant. The final way that you can apply for full registration according to the GMC is by being a Swiss or UK national or benefit from enforceable community rights, and have either A formal qualification listed in the Directive on Recognition of Professional Qualifications, the directive, or B, an acceptable primary medical qualification from outside the EEA, which has been recognised in Switzerland, with evidence of an acceptable pattern of experience. Do gap years matter for GMC registration? It might be slightly more difficult to get GMC registration, but of course it is possible. You ultimately have to ensure and demonstrate that your knowledge and skills are up to date. There are cases on the GMC website based on the length of gap which can help you. How can I enter straight onto specialty training instead of the foundation program? So, you may have been working in the UK as a doctor for a little while now and you want to apply to a specialty training program. You can do this, but you will need to show that you have the necessary foundation competencies you would have achieved by completing the foundation program in the UK, as above, FY1 and FY2. You will need to complete something called a CREST form, Certificate of Readiness to Enter Specialty Training. I'm a specialist, do I need to sit the PLAB exam? As above, you can sit the PLAB exam, but you can also apply to enter onto the specialist or GP register. This is via the CESR or CEGPR application process, where CESR stands for Certificate of Eligibility for Specialist Registration, and CEGPR stands for the Certificate of Eligibility for General Practice Registration. So there is no need to take the PLAB exam. Just to be clear, this means that you will be recognised as a consultant or GP here in the UK without having to undergo additional training via a specialty training program. Who needs to sit the PLAB test? Okay, so for both PLAB 1 and PLAB 2, graduates outside of the UK or EEA, European Economic Area, or Switzerland will most likely need to sit this exam. The large majority of IMGs who fit into the above category will need to take the exam. If you have an acceptable overseas qualification, such as the USMLE or Canadian and Australian pathways, then you do not need to sit the exam. There is a list on the GMC website of acceptable qualifications. As above, if you are a specialist and want to apply for the CESR or CEGPR route, you will not need the PLAB test. You must apply for registration with a license to practice with the GMC within 2 years, however. Then you can start working as a doctor here in the UK. What are the requirements to be able to sit or book a PLAB exam? You will need an acceptable overseas primary medical qualification, plus your qualification must be listed on the World Directory of Medical Schools. You can still book the exam even if you haven't graduated yet. You will just need to show that you have passed your final exams and met all the other requirements to qualify. You will also need the appropriate standard of English, so there are 2 tests that you can take, which are called the IELTS, the International English Language Testing System test, or the Occupational English Test, or OET. Some people prefer the latter because it is more relevant to a healthcare setting. Number 3, you will need a GMC online account. This does not take long to create, and once you set it up, you will receive an email from the GMC confirming that you have set up your account, including your GMC reference number. You will need your primary medical qualification, passport, email and postal address. For more information on the PLAB 1 exam, such as how to book the exam, how many attempts that you have at passing the exam, how much the PLAB exam will cost, and more, then check out an earlier video. How can you demonstrate you have the appropriate level of English language to be safe to work here in the UK? So as above, you need to demonstrate that you have a good level of English via the IELTS or OET exams. The qualification must not be older than 2 years. So those are a few FAQs for you as an IMG. I really hope that helps. If you want to clarify anything further or need more advice, then please drop me a message in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more of the same. I will see you in the next one.